let's get one thing straight. Chems are awesome. Buff out makes you strong, you can carry more, hit people harder, and take more punches at the same time. Mentats makes you smarter and more aware of your surroundings. Med-X makes the pain go away. Psycho turns into a berserker maniac, and Jet makes you move so fast it seems like everyone else is way slower. So it's no surprise chems are in high demand among wastelanders, who are willing to shell out hundreds of caps to get their fix. There's a business opportunity here, but it requires someone with the strength, knowledge, and drive to get it done. This is Ricky. He's a raider, and he just found his way into a secret chem lab owned by the biggest chem kingpin in the Commonwealth, a guy by the name of Morawski. He'll become important later. Showtime, fellas. By taking out this operation, Ricky is not only eliminating the competition, but also gaining access to the equipment necessary to start cooking chems. You see, chems sell for a decent price on their own, but by combining chems together, you can create stronger, more powerful versions, which means they're worth more money. But all these chems Ricky has now were nabbed from a heist in the last episode, and they won't last forever. He's gonna need to find a way to make his own chems, but most require rare ingredients, and Ricky doesn't want to spend all his time gathering out in the wasteland. But thankfully, there is one chem that is surprisingly cheap to make, if you know what you're doing. You see, Jet only requires plastic, which is incredibly common and cheap, and fertilizer, which is a bit rare, but it can be acquired in a reliable way. But before he could start on that, Ricky made his way back to Diamond City to start selling chems. Along the way, he found a couple who seemed to have switched outfits for the day. Or maybe that's how they always dress, I don't know, I mean, hey, that's fine, you know. Ricky may be a raider, but he's not gonna judge people for what they choose to wear. Anyway, he made it back to Diamond City, where he sold some chems, but also bought shipments of plastic and fertilizer, which, if you've been keeping up, are the base ingredients needed to make Jet. A shipment of plastic costs about 140 caps with Ricky's stats, and a shipment of fertilizer costs about 230 caps. But one Jet requires 1 plastic and 2 fertilizer, so that means by buying shipments you can make 12.5 doses of Jet, which sell for 26 caps each, for a total of 235 caps. But that barely covers the price of the fertilizer. This means that Ricky will have to find a more profitable way of acquiring fertilizer in the long term. Sorry to bore you with all that math, but as Ricky was leaving, he was stopped by Darcy, the wife of Paul, who Ricky let die in the previous episode.
Excuse me, can I talk to you a minute?
I guess so.
Do you remember me? You were in the tap house that time Paul made such a fool of himself trying to fight Henry. Now he's missing. Paul, I mean, it's not like him, and I'm worried something's happened to him.
Have you asked Cook about it?
Well, that's the thing. Henry's missing too. Which is what makes me really worried about Paul.
Oh, right. Cook also died, which actually had nothing to do with Ricky, believe me or not.
Oh, he was so upset. I thought maybe you might know something.
I don't know anything about it.
Okay, sorry to bother you.
It seemed Ricky's previous actions may come back to bite him, but I'm sure nobody else will.
You there. We need to talk.
Is there a problem?
The problem is that I've learned that you killed my son Nelson. Is this true?
I didn't kill Nelson. Whoever told you that was lying.
You are an easy target for anyone trying to shift blame off themselves. If it wasn't you, then who was it? Do you know who killed Nelson?
I heard it was Morawski. Nelson was buying chems from him.
I know he was. And now it makes sense why Morawski would try to put the blame on you. That bastard needs to pay. And you can't be too happy about him pinning this on you, right? I'll pay you 400 caps to take care of him. Both of you. What do you say?
Throw in another 200 caps, and I'll take care of Morawski for you.
600 caps. You have an awfully high opinion of yourself.
This worked out extremely well. Ricky successfully deflected the blame for something he did onto his main rival. He was already planning to take out Morawski, but now he could get paid for it too. Morawski is based out of Goodneighbor, the other major city in the Commonwealth, which is somewhere Ricky was going to end up eventually, so he made his way to the shady side of Boston, or, well, more shady than Diamond City already is. You immediately get an impression of what kind of town this is, because as soon as you walk through the front door, this guy tries to mug you.
Hey, hold up there. First time in Goodneighbor? You can't go walking around without insurance.
You better back off, or you're the one who's gonna need insurance.
Well, hey, all right. We'll just say your insurance is paid up for now, okay?
You lay off that extortion crap.
What do you care? He ain't one of us. You keep letting outsiders walk all over us. One day, there'll be a new man.
Come on, man. This is me we're talking about. Now why'd you have to go and say that, huh? Breaking my heart over here. Now I know you had old Finn handled back there, but a mayor's gotta make a point sometimes. You alright?
I'm fine.
Good. Now don't let this incident taint your view of our little community. Good neighbors of the people, for the people. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you.
Good. You stay cool, and you'll be part of the neighborhood.
After feeling Hancock, sorry, that sounds dirty. Anyway, after this he went to the gun shop to meet, well, I'll just show you.
Well, hello. Everything here is guaranteed to injure, maim, or kill at your discretion. Except me. I only kill when I want to.
Who, what are you?
I'm a woman, baby. Can't you tell?
Oh, of course you are. It's just all those metal plates. You're a robot, right? A very womanly robot.
Designation, Assaultron. Designed to provide a variety of security-related tasks to the modern man. Robot enough for you, smooth talker? Now what are you buying?
So what kind of weapons do you have?
Anything that can kill a man, I sell. Except suicidal depression. That is unfortunately not packageable.
Ricky couldn't help but marvel at Cleo's guns. He really wanted to know what they felt like to hold, so he snuck around behind her and grabbed the Fat Man launcher and mini nuke. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. Anyway, since Ricky was making so much money selling those chems he grabbed, he was able to afford some gear he probably shouldn't have at this level. Legendary combat armor pieces. After this, he walked down the way to Hotel Rexford, where Morelski had an office in the back. The trouble is, there's no easy way to take him out while he's in his office without the whole town showing up. While Ricky wouldn't mind getting grabbed by Cleo, he recognized that's not the best plan. He'd have to look for a better opportunity or find a silenced weapon to use. On the way out, it seemed the Mayor Hancock was giving a speech. Ricky found a comfortable place to watch the speech before heading to the bar. Inside was a charming singer and a funny British robot.
Boy, we got beer. You ain't buying beer, you ain't buying.
Who's the singer?
That is Magnolia, flower of the third rail.
Ricky bought one beer and then got an interesting offer.
Now that you're liquored up, got a proposition for you. I need a dirty boy to do some dirty, dirty work. Blood on the pavement, bodies in the ground, that kind of thing. Interested?
I might be.
I got a certain anonymous client who's paying top dollar for a clean-up job. 3 locations. Everyone inside. No witnesses. The job's 200 caps. Payment after it's done. Don't worry. I'll know when it is.
3 locations. That's a lot of time. A lot of bullets.
Oh, I guess we can sweeten the pot a bit. 250.
Too low. Barely covers the risks.
All right, Gov. 300.
I'll get it done.
You better. Now go out there and bust some eggs.
Ricky had another job on his hands, but first he made sure to finish listening to the singer, Magnolia. He even went up and talked to her. Excuse me, miss.
What's the matter, handsome? Don't tell me you didn't like the song.
I never heard that song before. Who wrote it?
I did. Everything I sing is original. Now, there's something special about you, isn't there? Don't tell me. Let me guess. I think I know a fella before when I see one. You're good with your words. Know just the right thing to say at the right time. So what brings a man like you to my part of town?
I came here for the music.
Flatterer. I think you and I are gonna get along. So it's my turn to answer questions, right? What can I do?
I was wondering if we could get to know each other better.
Oh, really? Go on.
You, me, an evening walk under the streetlights.
And then what?
Music.
I knew you were something special, all right? Let me get my coat. I haven't been out on the town in too long. Thank you.
And now Ricky can say he's banged Wonder Woman. Okay, time to get back on track. 3 warehouses, but I'll spare you the details. Ricky broke in, sprayed some bullets, and grabbed whatever wasn't bolted down. Ricky seemed to be taking a liking to the submachine guns these gangsters use, and by taking them out, he was able to get a surplus of ammo. Anyway, one by one they fell, and Ricky went back to report his success to Charlie.
Some exterminator cleaned out the rats in the old warehouses. Know anything about that, would you?
I might. Depends on what you have for me.
Here you are, every single cap, as agreed.
Ricky's trip to Goodneighbor didn't accomplish the one thing he went there for, but it was overall a good use of time. He gained caps, intel, gear, and at least one lover. But it was time to get back on track. Ricky was going to need some place to produce fertilizer. And what produces fertilizer on a regular basis? Brahmin. That's right, in case you hadn't figured it out, Jet is essentially just sniffing two-headed cow manure. Nearby to his home base was a farm that already had a Brahmin. Ricky considered just wiping out these helpless settlers, but he realized he didn't want to do all the work of farming and cleaning cow crap, so he took a more diplomatic approach, tricking the settlers into working for him by retrieving a family heirloom. You gotta be careful. Never know who you can trust these days. The farmers wanted a locket that some nearby raiders had taken from them. Pretty standard stuff here. Enter the dungeon, fight some raiders, take out the leader, and grab the minigun she was using. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. After taking out the raiders, Ricky went back to the farm, and the family was so overjoyed, they offered Ricky to use their workshop. Ricky can now use this farm to start building a fertilizer production facility. As I explained earlier, you need Brahmin to make fertilizer, and Brahmin can show up at your settlement randomly. But if you want a more reliable source, you can build a giant cage to trap wild Brahmin, but this requires some razor grain to build, and more every time you want to reset the trap. The farmers were already producing potatoes and melons, but those won't help much, so Ricky set them to work farming razor grain. But that takes a while, so in the meantime, Ricky set out to accomplish a goal he had set previously, clearing out the raider gang in Lexington. Ricky now had the equipment necessary, and a plan to take out this raider gang, eliminating the risk of them finding out about his chem operation. First, he climbed up the steps to a nearby building, and atop this was a raider wearing a salvaged suit of power armor. Ricky cleverly shot out the fusion core, which forced the raider inside to exit, and he could then finish them off. It's a surprise tool that will help us right now. Ricky had scavenged a few fusion cores earlier, so he could take this suit for himself. It was missing the arm and leg armor pieces, but it would still allow Ricky to plow through the gang with ease. There was yet one more wrinkle with the plan. Ricky would have to take out another raider in power armor, this one armored with a portable mini-nuke launcher. Ricky had procured one of his own earlier, but he didn't want to blow himself up by using it in this tight space. The other guy wasn't so smart and nearly blew up the whole skywalk, but Ricky managed to finish him off and get another power armor piece. Despite the fact that he was well armored, Ricky still opted to take the inconspicuous entrance to catch the raiders by surprise, rather than barge in through the front door. It seemed some ghouls had come in this way, and there was a turret guarding the entrance. After clearing the room, he found a terminal that talked about Jared, who must be the leader of these raiders. Ricky would need to take him out to eliminate the threat here. From here on out, all Ricky had to do was shoot his way through the place, and that's exactly what he did. When it was all said and done, Ricky had cleared and looted the building. This would be a warning to all nearby gangs not to mess with Ricky's territory. His chem operation was safe, for now. He went back to the farm to check on the progress of the razor grain, but it turns out it takes a long time for crops to grow. He took a stroll back home and made a safe to store the chems he would sell later. He also modified his submachine gun with a suppressed barrel, which meant that there was now some business he could finish in Goodneighbor. Heading back to Hotel Rexford, it seemed Ricky had arrived at a good time, because Morowski was peacefully sleeping in his room, unguarded. Morowski took a surprising amount of bullets, but despite that, Ricky was able to remain undetected. He had now taken out his main rival in the chem business, leaving a power vacuum in the Commonwealth that he could fill. He walked out of the hotel unharmed and made his way back to Diamond City. He talked to Malcolm and got a 600 cap reward.
I hope you didn't make it too easy for him. Here's what I owe you.
Even Ricky was surprised how well this whole situation worked out. Back at the farm, the razor grain was finally grown enough so Ricky could set up the Brahmin trap, but a bunch of super mutes attacked. After dealing with them, he realized he would need to wait for the Brahmin to show up. So to kill time, he headed back to the fish packing plant where the chem lab was hidden, to see if he missed anything. After clearing through the ghouls, Ricky found a magazine that made buying and selling prices better. I don't think I need to explain why this is an important find. Again, Ricky made his way back to the farm, his feet are actually pretty tired from all this walking, to see if there was anything in the cage. Opening it, he found a Brahmin waiting inside. Ricky had just effectively doubled his production of fertilizer, from 1 unit per day to 2 units per day, and this would keep increasing the more Brahmin he got. You may not like it, but this is what peak performance looks like. From here on out, Ricky would have a stable supply of caps to buy anything he needed. His chem empire was established, but he still needed someone to share this empire with, and if he wanted to take over the Commonwealth, he would need an army. So tune in next time and watch as Ricky looks for allies, and leave a comment letting me know what characters you'd like to see join him on his travels. Also, like and subscribe if you're a cool person.